This is FanStream Sports.
Can I please have your attention? And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who would know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Yes! Here we go!
I guess I want to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about my pants.
Happy Friday morning, JP Peterson Petermans, JP Peterman Peeps, JP Peterson Scoundrels. It is a JP free show today. Surprise, I'm here. You get an IndyCarTim show, you get the IndyCarTim Open. How you like that, boys and girls? Probably the first time many of you have heard that. But it is not a happy Friday. I will tell you what we are going to do today, and many of you will be involved in the show, as you always are, and we appreciate that very, very much. JP, so distraught over the loss last night, he decided not to do a show. I'm just kidding. He had to change his flight for his weekend visit with his daughter in Nashville. So he's leaving town early on Friday. He said, hey, I don't really want to talk about the Bucs anyway. So that's why I am here. We're going to talk about the Bucs as much as you want to. We are going to, I would say, offer you the good, the bad, and the ugly, but there was one good. There was one good out of this whole thing. And then, because of the occurrences at Raymond James Stadium last night, and because of the potential for a coaching change in Tampa Bay, should I decide to get this deep into the show, we might offer some of the top coaching candidates that will be available next year. Or I might save that for next week when JP is around. I'm not sure yet. I really don't know. But I do know we're going to talk Bucs Falcons. And you're going to talk Bucs Falcons. I've got some audio. Yes, we're going to watch together the profanity-laced post-game by Todd Bowles. And we are going to dive headfirst into the instant post-game reaction that was taped live at Ray J last night by one JP Peterson as he appeared on that sports web with Peter Blake. We will run some of that for you boys because I'm sure you would love to know, if you didn't get a chance to see that last night, you would love to know what JP thought of said fiasco. But first, let's talk about the good, because that's by far the shortest topic for discussion here. By the way, good morning to all of you. We will get into your comments. Let's see who's in this morning. At King's Oracle, I honestly thought Bowles' rant was a little too late. Also, everything he said on that rant should be redirected at him as well. That rant is just proof he's lost the locker room. It's funny that you mentioned that, because that was going to be my main talking point today. Todd Bowles, I know that he's looking for problems and solutions, but Todd Bowles, maybe more than at any point in his coaching tenure, is the biggest problem. And I'm not sure that he would dispute that if you brought that up to him face to face. The post-game press conference was so out of character for him. And look, I'm not there covering the team like JP is, but JP will be the first to tell you that was completely out of character for him. As we all know, we've all seen post games before from Todd, but it was completely out of character for him, which tells me many, many things on many, many levels about where he is, about where this team is, and about where this thing's going. Not just the rest of this season, but where this thing is going after this season. Let's go ahead and listen to that. Let's listen to some Todd Bowles post game. If you are driving your kids to school in the car, kids earmuffs, because I did not bleep any of this out intentionally. We played it here on Dallas radio earlier this morning before I came on here, and we had to bleep the whole thing out, obviously. Thank you, FCC. But not on this show, because I think it matters. I think it absolutely counts. So let's take a listen to Todd after the Bucs 29-28 meltdown, faceplant, whatever you want to call it, at Ray J Stadium.
You don't make excuses. You gotta fucking care enough where the shit hurts. You gotta fucking care enough where the shit hurts. It gotta fucking mean something to you. It's more than a job. It's your fucking livelihood. How well do you know your job? How well can you do your job? Well, you can't sugarcoat that shit. It was in the fucking excusable, and there's no fucking answer for it. There's no excuse for it. That's what you tell them in the locker room. Look in the fucking mirror.
Look in the effing mirror. I almost feel like Todd Bowles was talking to himself in the mirror there last night, because he certainly should have been. And this tells me that he's lost. I don't think Todd Bowles knows what to do or how to fix this. That is a man speaking from the gut, from the heart, that's frustrated, that is oozing failure right now, that is bleeding failure. And he looks so lost. He looked lost on the sideline. He looked lost in the post game. He looked lost at halftime when this thing was still in question. A couple of good points from last night. Mike Evans. I thought Mike Evans looked pretty good. He gave us a hell of a scare when he got undercut, as Baker Mayfield, for whatever reason, is trying to kill his wide receivers here late in the season with some of these throws. But Mike Evans, 6 catches, 132 yards. Now, the alarming part of this is 6 catches on 12 targets. That's not Mike Evans' fault. That is a testament to how much Baker is struggling right now. He does not look good. Mike Evans last night, that was the Mike Evans that we've missed. And Mike Evans showed the emotion on sidelines. I didn't see anybody else doing this, by the way, guys. Mike Evans in that final Falcons drive, he showed all of the emotion on the sideline. He was pissed. He was hurt. I didn't see, including the coaching staff, I didn't see anybody else that looked upset. Everybody had that deer in headlights look, like what just happened, including your team leader, Baker Mayfield. And that, to me, is the terrifying part of this. I think Baker Mayfield is lost as well. I think Baker Mayfield is drained physically. We know he's hurt. He's dealing with a number of things. I think Baker Mayfield emotionally is drained. I think Baker Mayfield is lost. He doesn't know what's going on. He can't make the throws right now that he knows he should be able to make. And while he's giving it his best shot, I don't know that that's what's best for this team right now. Baker Mayfield, 19 to 34, 2 touchdowns, an interception, sacked 5 times. And in those 5 sacks, as well as some others that he escaped, inexplicably escaped, he looked confused. He looked tentative. He looked worried. And he looked uncomfortable. Baker Mayfield doesn't look comfortable in the pocket right now, and that is not what you want from your quarterback. On a 500 team fighting for a playoff spot, well, let's face it, it's got to be a division win if you're going to get in the playoffs. And the insane part about all of this is that they could still do it. But does that excite anybody? I mean, I guess it could. You just want your team to make the tournament, right? I get it. But, and I'm not one of these guys that says, man, we just need to lose out so we get a better draft pick. At this point, it doesn't matter. What you're going to finish around 500. The draft pick doesn't matter at that point. It's not going to make one iota a difference, as my sainted father would say. But this thing looks awful, man. This thing looks terrible. And Todd Bowles, that little mini rant that he went on, I wasn't there. I didn't see the whole thing. I've only seen the clips that were posted on social media. So I don't know if Todd Bowles pointed the finger at himself at all during this tirade. I would certainly hope that he did. I would certainly hope that he said all of those things and then followed it up with, and it starts with me. I have to be better. I've failed these guys. I've failed this coaching staff. I've failed these players. I've not been good enough this year. I mean, Todd Bowles is the kind of guy I would think that would say something like that and implicate himself, but that wasn't the vibe that I got from last night. And look, the players did not do him any favors last night either. That defense, the defense is, we've talked about it already, guys. We all know this, right? The defense is broken under Bowles. The offensive line is broken. There wasn't one player along that offensive line that had an even decent game. That thing was a mess, and Baker knew it. Baker had no time. He was never able to set his feet to make a throw unless it was a quick throw, a 2-step quick throw. And for whatever reason, they didn't run a lot of those. You found some success run blocking. You found some success on the ground. Bucky Irving, 16 carries, 60 yards. You had 88 yards, on the ground. By the way, Rachaad White, 1 carry, 20 yards. Rachaad White gets 20 yards on his lone carry and doesn't get the ball again. I didn't see that he was injured. Sean Tucker had a touchdown, 4 carries, 7 yards. 22 carries, 88 yards as a team. 20 of those on Rachaad White's lone run. So I'm not real sure what is going on in Grizzard's head. I don't know if Josh Grizzard, because this is a vastly different game plan, different scheme offensively than we saw even earlier this season, which was Grizzard. I don't know how much coach speak Grizzard is getting in his ear from Todd Bowles. I want to do this. We need to do this. I want to do this. You know, that happens, even though Grizzard's the offensive coordinator. He works under Bowles. Bowles is a defensive guy, but he obviously has a vision for his offense on his team. I don't know if Grizzard is just suddenly bad at his job or if his hands are tied with what he's trying to do. That happens in the NFL all the time. but the offense is terrible right now. It's awful. Ibuka, 4 catches on 7 targets. Again, Baker tried to kill him a couple of times with some throws. McMillan's first appearance this year, 2 catches, 38 yards. Godwin, 4 catches, 20 yards with a tutty. You didn't have your tight ends involved at all. Tez Johnson was targeted 1 time, no catches. Devin Culp had a catch, including the touchdown. Yeah, man, this thing's broken. And it's broken all the way around. And I've got a picture here I'm going to share with you guys. To me, there were 2 fumbles in this game that could have turned the game for the Bucs, including this one here that I still can't figure out what happened. What's happening here, guys? Maybe someone can explain it to me. As you have, I counted 7 Tampa Bay Buccaneers within 3 yards of the ball, within 2 yards of the ball. 7 Buccaneers. And you have 1 Falcon who's laying face down on the turf with a buck on top of him. And yet, somehow the Falcons recover that, and that would have iced the game for you. What in the hell? We never saw a replay that showed anything. I don't know who recovered it for the Falcons. I never saw that. But how in the world does Tampa Bay not come away with that recovery? That might be one of the most mind-boggling puzzles to put together. You could show that photo to 1,000 people, and 1,000 out of 1,000 would say, well, the orange team had to get the ball. The orange team got the ball. No. And I honestly don't know how. I would love that. I would love to know. I would love to have seen some replays. I know that, shuffling goes on under the pile, of course. But I would love to have seen how 7 Buccaneers could not recover a football in the scenario that we are looking at on the screen. Man, I'm telling you, I don't friggin' get it. It's one of the most mind-boggling things. This loss was, look, you guys, y'all know that I've seen some bad football in my time as a Cowboys fan and as a Saints fan. Sorry, don't hold that second one against me. I was born there. But this run in the last month by the Bucs might be the most frustrating run of football I've seen in a long time. And look, I know, again, injuries, right? This is more than injuries. Not every guy on the team is injured. Right now, every guy on the team effing sucks. This is not about injuries at this point. All you needed was a win. At this point of the year, I don't care about style points. I don't care how you win the game. If Atlanta misses that field goal at the end of the game and the Bucs win, I'm coming on here today telling you guys what a great win this was. They played horribly, but all that matters is that you got the win. That's the goal. At this point of the season, with what you're going through, there's no bad wins. Just get the win. That's all that matters. And you had opportunities. And you couldn't do it. And that last drive quite possibly put the final nail in the coffin on a Bucs season, where you were up 28-14 on the lowly Falcons, by the way, who were dealing with their own injuries. Hopefully you heard Sandra Golden from Atlanta on yesterday, and all she was doing was talking about how bad this team is. She couldn't believe that we were thinking that the Bucs were going to lose. She's like, well, y'all clearly haven't watched any Atlanta football. Well, neither team wanted to win it last night. You're up 28-14. You had Atlanta pinned back a 3rd and 28. And look, when it was second and 18? And Atlanta committed one of their 19 penalties on the night. By the way, you're up 28-14 in the fourth quarter against a team who committed 19 penalties in the game, a franchise record. By the way, that's nowhere near the NFL record. It's in the 30s somewhere. And you had them, and when Bowles accepted the penalty, which made it 2nd and 28, I was like, man, I was thinking I'd rather turn down the penalty and have 3rd and 18, right? But it didn't matter because you stopped them on that second down play. So you have 3rd and 28 on the Falcons' final drive. Cousin hits Pitts for 14 yards. You now have a 4th and 14. It's 4th and 14. And I'm still thinking, it's just a stop. Please, one stop. But somehow David Seals, who couldn't catch a ball to save his life, finds his way down the far sideline, uncovered, unseen, undetected. No Bucs player, even in the TV shot of him on the sideline, and converts the first. And at that point, I'm like, well, yeah, obviously this one's over. Can only hope for a missed field goal. 3rd and 28, 4th and 14, and you can't get one stop at the end of the game. No, you don't deserve to win because you're a broken team against another broken team with their 170-year-old one ankle backup quarterback who owns you, by the way. Since joining the Falcons last year, we know the narrative here. Kirk Cousins now 3-0 against the Bucs, 1,158 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 1 pick. As he goes 30 of 44 for 373 yards last night. If Kirk Cousins just played the Bucs every week, we'd all be saying, Tom Brady who? It's insane. As I jump off my soapbox here. Let's get to some of y'all's comments. Appreciate y'all bearing with me here. Michael LaRue, Bowles can cuss out the players all he wants, but actions speak louder than words. If nobody gets benched or cut the players, realize there aren't any real consequences. It's been this way for 4 years. You're 100% right. There's no consequences. Who's he going to bench? Can't bench anybody. You don't have any depth. Is that his fault? No. Is it just bad coaching? Maybe. King's back. Of course, the players are tuning Bowles out. You have a special teams coach that should have been fired after week 3, still on the team. Players see that. They're not stupid. Yeah. There's no accountability for the coaching staff here either. Aviation. Those guys don't care. Lost 5 of our last 6, and it took a guy sitting out 3 months to finally start yelling at the team. I've never once called for Todd's job, but he's officially lost his guys, completely lost this ship. Yeah, 100%. You can tell by the body language on the sideline by the players, and I think you can tell by the body language from Bowles. Baker deserves some of the pointing too. Inexcusable turnover swings moment. 100%. Baker is not playing well. And we know this isn't the Baker that we've come to love here in Tampa. He's hurt. He can't make the throws that he needs to make. He's hurting the team by playing. Why in God's name did you go out and make the move to get Teddy Bridgewater if you're not going to play him? And I don't care if there's something going on and he's not, for whatever reason, not picking up the offense. I don't know. We've seen him once and he didn't look great. Give him a full week of practice. Just tell, and this should have happened weeks ago, tell Baker, hey, you're sitting out. You're out this game. We're going to go with Bridgewater. We'll let you be the emergency third quarterback or something. And you give Bridgewater a full week with the guys, with the starters. He's not going to look worse than Baker. Even if he does, you're getting Baker the rest that he can come back 80, 90, 100% in a week, in 2 weeks, whatever it is, while you suffer a couple of losses, while he sits out. Doesn't matter. He's playing and you're losing anyway. This doesn't make sense. But this team, they've lost. The coaches lost them. The players have lost each other. We talked about it earlier this week. There's a confidence issue. That confidence issue just exploded exponentially in his locker room. At Climactic, Todd, your time is up. Aviation, they're a joke. Bucs basement, just know we see you. Climactic, shout out to the receiver room. They look good. Baker is okay. He throws that type of interception often, though. Baker is not okay. This is not Baker. I don't know who this is. This is not Baker Mayfield. This is the Baker Mayfield that we saw 75% of the time in Cleveland because of other deficiencies on the team. That's not the Baker Mayfield that signed with the Buccaneers. Marcus Compton, garbage defense, pure trash. I love that. 100% accurate. Got some lightning talk here. The Lightning started off horrible from JLR 10108. The Lightning started off horrible and worked on getting better. The Bucs started off great and then went to crap. This is sports, man. It's sports. Baker threw the pick, but that defense, of course, couldn't answer. Yeah, Baker made a mistake. And if you've got a decent defense, the defense can bail out quarterback mistakes. Happens all the time. But again, I'm just going to say, 3rd and 28, 4th and 14, and then the photo of the fumble, that 7-on-1, and the one somehow wins. This looks like the most dejected team that I've seen in a long time, and rightfully so. They should be dejected. The coaching staff should be dejected. Climactic says, this loss makes it easier to stop giving a damn about this season. I think for some that happened a couple weeks ago. And Todd Bowles, by the way, getting lit up as he should all across social media. Now there's, of course, some guys that are going overboard, but pre-fired. We talked about Mike Norvell being pre-fired at Florida State. Has Todd Bowles been pre-fired? We kind of joked around about that yesterday with JP. Hey, Todd, go ahead and go. You don't have to leave the building yet, but go ahead maybe and just like clean out some of your desk, stuff that you don't think you're going to use for the next month. Maybe go ahead and get that out. Anything you don't need immediately. Yeah, it's probably best to box that up and put it in the back of your Escalade. You're not going to need it here. You know, and I've been asking JP all week. Kyle Pitts, by the way, a free agent at the end of the year. You have any interest in going and making a run at Kyle Pitts in free agency to potentially solve your tight end issues. And he shrugged it off. He's like, no, man, I hear things from Atlanta about Kyle Pitts. All right. Well, I will trust your intuition and your sources. But boy, howdy, last night, Kyle Pitts, as Douglas Batista throws up some stats, 11 catches on 12 targets, 166 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts looked pretty good last night. Now, I know it's against the Bucs defense, but I always felt like Kyle Pitts had that in him. And maybe Atlanta's just not the place to bring it out. That is also a broken franchise. When he came out of the draft in 2021, I called Kyle Pitts the best non-quarterback in that draft. And, obviously coming out of Florida, the guys, we called him a generational talent. I still think he's got that in him. So, yeah, insane. Hello to you too, Nathan Elliott. Climactic brings up a good point. If Sills didn't drop that layup, it would have been over earlier probably. That was a horrible drop. Kirk Cousins couldn't believe it either. David Moser on Facebook, welcome in. And if he's supposed to be a defensive guru, then why is the middle of our field wide open over the last 3 years? It's a bad scheme. His defensive scheme is a bad scheme, and he has never adjusted. And then we'll throw this other thing out there. Todd Bowles is probably one of these guys that's a great coordinator. He can be a great coordinator, can't be a good head coach. There are lots of guys that falls under. You know what? On the other side of the field, Raheem Morris, probably in the same boat. He's a good coordinator, terrible head coach. Not everybody can do that, and that's okay. Know your calling. Be the best at what you're good at. Just don't try to be a coach if you can't. Tim, have you watched the docuseries yet? No, I have not watched the docuseries yet. As I discussed yesterday, that is on my agenda for the weekend, so that on Tuesday I can come back with JP and we can talk about it at length. So that is my homework. I can't wait. I am obviously while I've been a Cowboys fan first, I've always sort of been endeared to the Bucs because I loved I 6 years old when they came into the league. I just loved their uniforms. And to be honest, I loved their stadium. I loved the sombrero, the way it looked on TV. It was awesome. And as a kid, you sort of drawn to different things. And so I've always kind of been a closet Bucs fan, even before I started doing this show. And I am most certainly a fan of the history of the game, especially 70s and 80s football. So, yes, I am excited to watch this and some of the footage that they've got from the old days. Anything John McKay related, I am in. Nathan says he was at the game last night. I was there when the clock hit 0. I cannot believe the meltdown that took place. Nathan, are you talking about in the stands, from the fans, from the players down on the field, all of the above? Interesting. Very interesting, I believe. All right, let's take a quick break here, guys, and get on schedule, and then see what we can come up with on the other side. Thought I had something here audio-wise for y'all, but I'm not able to find it. Here on the JP Peterson Show, right here on FanStream Sports, I'm IndyCarTim. It is a JP free show, except for he'll be on the recording for the postgame last night. Need to remind everybody, this holiday season, give the sports fan in your life something they'll actually cheer for. The FanStream Sports merch store at fanstreamsports.com is loaded with fresh gear, 3/4 zips, hats, tees, and other exclusive apparel from your favorite FanStream Sports shows. Whether you're stuffing stockings or treating yourself, treat yourself. Do it FanStream Sports style. Order now to beat the holiday rush and score the perfect Christmas gift for the ultimate sports fanatic, the ultimate JP Peterson Show fanatic. Head over to fanstreamsports.com today and click on merch at the top of the screen. It's where sports meets the season of giving, all at fanstreamsports.com. I'm IndyCarTim. Back after this.
At Genesis of Tampa, they got some serious ho-ho-ho going on this Christmas. It's the Miracle Holiday Sales Event and their 30 days of giving. First, for any new vehicle in the month of December sold, first payment will be deferred 90 days, and then the dealership will make the first payment up to $500. That can save you a lot of cash that you can use for Christmas shopping. And every day in December, they're giving away a $500 shopping spree. All you got to do is have your car appraised, and you get an entry into the daily drawing for the $500 shopping spree. And every weekend day in December, customers simply need to stop by the dealership, scan the QR code, and they get an entry into the $500 shopping spree contest. No purchase necessary. Test drive a vehicle, and we will 10x your entry into the shopping spree. Christmas and New Year's Eve, each holiday, if a customer books a test drive for the specified day, they will receive a themed t-shirt, limited edition, as well as an additional $250 off the purchase price. Bottom line is, get your butt and your sleigh down to Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Avenue, just off 275. It's going to be a big Christmas at Genesis of Tampa. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week. So go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years, where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show right here on FanStream Sports. Welcome into Misery Friday on FanStream Sports, Tampa Bay. By the way, make sure you guys are checking out our other stuff too, especially my stuff. Make sure y'all check out that Colby Sapp and IndyCarTim show. If you're a golf fan, make sure you're checking out that From the Rough. Especially if you guys are fans of any of the teams up in the Ohio Valley area, which I don't know why you would be unless you're from there, but it's my understanding there's a lot of like Ohio transplants in Tampa and in the Tampa Bay area. At least that's what was reported to me from a sketchy, credible source. But lots of stuff here at FanStream Sports. By the way, big announcement coming up next week for FanStream Sports. Stay tuned. We'll make that announcement here next week on the JP Peterson Show. All right, Petermans and Nathan. Real quick, JP just sent me some video post-game stuff that I'll get to in a second. Nathan Elliott chimes in. Is anyone ready to talk about how Cody Mock was a big difference maker on the offensive line? So are you talking about since he's returned from injury, or are you speaking specifically of last night? And are you speaking tongue-in-cheek sarcastically? Because I did not think Cody Mock had a great game last night, as he might have been the best offensive player or the best player on the offensive line last night, but that wasn't going to say much because that whole unit is bad. Guys, I'm starting to worry about some of these guys. I am specifically starting to worry a little bit about Graham Barton. I don't know if he's being asked to do too much. I don't know if he's not comfortable in the middle of the offensive line playing center, but something's wrong. He shouldn't be this bad. At least I think he's better than this. So I don't know what's going on there. We praised the draft pick. I did. But man, I don't know, man. I've got some, Malk is on IR. I know. So JP sent me some audio here. So let's see if we can figure out what this stuff is. That JP sent here. Believe we're going to have some, well, JP, where did you put it? Believe we're going to have some, I believe we got some Baker. Nope, that's not Baker. I want to hear Baker.
You guys are up 2 touchdowns with 10, 12 minutes left in the game. Just talk about that.
Disappointing, obviously, but falls on my shoulders. Can't turn the ball over. Can't have that interception. And then just you gotta hit Mech in stride on that 3rd down. Listen, you can say what you want about being up 2 scores and the defense right there, but we have to be better on offense. And it comes down to how I play. This one's gonna haunt me. This falls on my shoulders.
You talk about Mike tonight, the effort, the production, the juice that you guys got.
Yeah, obviously Mike played really well, but I think not only him but J-Mac as well. They both brought energy. Yeah, it was good to see that, but it comes down to me executing.
Sorry, guys. I said Cody Mock. I did not mean Cody Mock. I meant Luke Gedeke. I'm sorry. I misspoke. I've had some Jaeger this morning. I'm not going to lie. Yes, I was speaking, of course, of Luke Gedeke, not Cody Mock. My bad. I saw Cody Mock in the comments here, and his name, for whatever reason, jumped into the forefront of my brain. So that's on me. I was speaking of Luke Gedeke, not Cody Mock. My apologies. But as far as Baker goes here, yeah, he's owning it. But you know what I'm seeing out of Baker right there? If you were able to kind of watch his facial expressions, and if you were able to kind of, I don't know, man, he looks like a deer in the headlights. He looks like he is checked out, like emotionally. And I don't know what I'm looking for from him. That doesn't seem like the Baker Mayfield, even after a bad game. He's usually got a little bit of emotion, a little bit of variation of inflection of his voice. He just seems like, yeah, guys, I know we suck. Let me have it. And he doesn't seem like he's speaking like he believes there's any light at the end of the tunnel. And when I say this entire team on their sideline, with the exception of Mike Evans, he showed some emotion last night. But man, nobody else did. Everybody else had that same look that Baker Mayfield just had on his face during the postgame. Man, it's very disheartening. Let's see if JP sent me something different on Bowles than what I had. We'll check it out.
See what exactly can be done so that they're ready in these situations.
Well, I just told you, we're ready in the situations. We got to execute. And the coaches and players are all in it together. When the coaches are bad, the players are bad, and vice versa. We've been in these situations. We understand what's happening. We know exactly what's happening. We got to execute better. And if you got to execute better, you definitely have to coach it better regardless. And that's where it is right now. We're all in this together, and nobody's pointing fingers. But at the same time, we got to hold each other accountable, and we got to be better than that because there are no excuses.
Specifically, what happened?
There are no excuses. He said it. Does he mean it? This whole thing, man, is just a mess. James says, trashing Baker? We know he's hurt, and yes, it was a bad pick, but the two guards and our center Barton give Baker nothing. Without Baker, Bucs a 2-10 team. All I know is 3rd and 28, 4th and 14, period. Yes, you are correct 100%, James. But Baker has been the kind of guy historically that can deal with a makeshift offense. He didn't have a great offensive line to start the season, and he was playing lights out. That's his game, improvising. But he's hurt right now, and he's not playing like that Baker Mayfield. That's the point I made at the beginning of the show. This is not the Baker Mayfield that we saw at the first of the year. He's hurt. I'm not putting all of this on Baker, but he did not have a good game. Again, it looks like he's trying to kill some of his wide receivers. He almost killed Mike Evans. That was a horrible pass, JP. It soared above his head. Mike shouldn't even have jumped for that ball. And he comes down and lands on the back of his neck. Like, that's not great for a guy coming back from a collarbone break. No, Baker's part of the problem. Let's not pretend that he's the whole problem, but he's definitely contributing to the problem here. What else you got, Bowles?
Everything in the season. The coaches have done everything they can do. This is a player-driven team in the last 4 or 5 weeks. You got to execute, and they got to hold each other accountable. As a coach, you can sit there till you blue in the face until they start holding each other accountable and doing the little things right. And that's not everybody. Now, we're talking about a small select few, but the small select few is what's getting us beat. And until that happens, it's not going to get right. So we got to get up and go to work tomorrow. No matter how bad today looks, you got to put it behind you, and we got to win the last 3 games. We know that.
All right, and again, I haven't heard any of these guys until you're hearing them right now. Listen to this again. And you tell me if Todd Bowles is right.
At this point, you've seen everything in the season. You know, the coaches have done everything they can do. This is a player-driven team in the last 4 or 5 weeks. You got to execute, and they got to hold each other accountable. As a coach, you can sit there till you blue in the face until they start holding each other accountable and doing the little things right. And that's not everybody. Now we're talking about a small select few, but the small select few is what's getting us beat. And until that happens, it's not going to get right. So we got to get up and go to work tomorrow. No matter how bad today looks, you got to put it behind you, and we got to win the last 3 games. We know that.
What in the world is wrong with you, Todd Bowles? Todd Bowles just said this is the players' fault. We can coach them till we're blue in the face. But at some point, the players need to hold each other accountable. That is not how this works. You are the coach. You hold them accountable. You cut them. You bench them. You punish them. Make them sit out. That is the most ridiculous and asinine thing I have ever heard in my life come out of a coach's mouth after that kind of loss. This thing is done. Todd Bowles is done. That blows me away. Good Lord. He's saying, yeah, you know, we're coaching them up, but they're not listening. So we can coach them till we're blue in the face, but if they don't listen, then, you know, it's not on us. They got to hold each other accountable. What in the world? This is a guy that has also checked out. Now, I'm convinced. If his mannerisms and the post game that we played, the profanity-laden presser that we played, if that didn't convince me, that clip right there, he is done. He has checked out. He knows what his future in Tampa Bay is. He might be surprised to be here next week. We know they don't fire coaches midseason, and you shouldn't. But, oh, my God, that might be the most alarming piece of audio I have heard in a long time. And that just blows me away. Good Lord, guys. What's y'all's take on that? Let me know. A lot of comments here. Rick, you are absolutely, sir. You are absolutely correct. Tim, from a guy who's been married 3 times, you recognize Todd's defeated attitude. Rick, anytime I am with a woman, I'm used to recognizing that defeated attitude in their eyes. It's what I've built every relationship on. And, dude, Todd Bowles has the same look as all 3 of my ex-wives when they left. Knows it's over. Maybe he should just leave. James, the answer, Tim, is Grizz is bad at his job. You know what? I might be climbing aboard that train with you. Climactic, Grizz drew it for a few nice plays. A few nice plays doesn't win you a game. And I talked about this earlier in the week. This is a bad spot for Josh Grizzard, all right, in his first attempt, and maybe his last, as an offensive coordinator. Because it doesn't matter what your default scheme as an OC. It doesn't matter what your default scheme is, what you believe, what you want to run, how you want to run it, who you want to run. It doesn't matter if the players that you think you were going to have going into the season are all hurt and they can't do it. So now you are left to adapt to what you have on the field, their availability and their ability. Josh Grizzard is a first-year offensive coordinator. He does not have the experience to make adjustments during the season to surprises on the roster. He doesn't. Todd Bowles can't help him do that from an offensive standpoint because he doesn't know how. He can't even do it on defense. So this is a bad situation for Josh Grizzard, and I kind of feel for him. we don't even really know what his offense might look like with a healthy roster. And he's getting called out for it. But you know what? It's your job, Josh, to adapt, to adjust. And you're not able to do it. It's part of your job description. Yeah, and it's a bad look, man. It's a bad look. No one's doing anybody any favors on this roster. John Hill, a tight end caught their first TD this year last night. Yeah, and it was Devin Culp. Maybe the future tight end of this team. I don't know if any of these guys are the future tight end of this team, to be honest with you. There's a lot of broken pieces to this team. James says, I've never heard of a simultaneous recovery on the strip sack. Yeah, how did the Bucs not jump on that ball? You had Cousins wrapped up. And I don't have a still photo of that, but I bet it looked pretty similar. And somehow Cousins ended up with the ball at the bottom of that pile? How in the world does that work? God, makes no sense to me. Is it effort? Were those 7 Buccaneers just not trying that hard to recover the ball? Were these 4 Buccaneers around the strip sack just not trying that hard to recover the ball? Either one of those recoveries and the game is over. You win. Formerly known as Jeff B. betting is what happened. All right. Look, I get it. I know that's a narrative. I don't agree with it, but sometimes it's hard to deny that there's something there. It's just bizarre, guys. Man, damn. It might take me a week to soak all this in, especially after that Bowles audio that we just played. Oscar, all the coaches need to be fired at the end of the season. Too many penalties, no pass rush, O-line collapsing so fast Baker can't get in any rhythm. 100%. I don't know that a 100% healthy Baker Mayfield could find a rhythm with all of this going on. Now, you'd like to think 100% healthy Baker Mayfield could escape some of those sacks. You'd like to think he'd be a little more accurate with his throws and not try to kill Mike Evans. And maybe you convert some of those throws and you're in a better spot. But he's not healthy. He's got a messed up shoulder. And no, it's not his throwing shoulder, but it still matters. It still hurts. Kenneth McClary, the good news about last night was I made $130 betting that Tampa would find a way to screw it all up. And that they did. Good job by you, Kenneth, because I picked the Bucs to win that game. Maybe I've watched too much Falcons football. And I don't know. Climactic Cousins screwed us again. Yeah, and look, you're looking at 2 teams that are probably going to have new head coaches next year in Atlanta and Tampa Bay. And oh, yeah, so I was going to bring this up. Captain K. Did anybody see when Todd Bowles was being interviewed, just coming out at halftime, when he said that they have to play better zone? I, in fact, did see that, and I had that in my notes. I meant to rewind that and take a video of it to play today. But I was kind of lazy, and I didn't, the honest truth. But I knew hearing that. Like when he said that, it sounds like we have to play better zone. That means that in his mind, his players are screwing up his scheme. We have to play better zone. So what he's saying is that, well, I have this perfect zone scheme drawn up. The guys just aren't running it right. They got to be better. They got to play better zone. Well, maybe make some adjustments. Maybe fix something. Maybe try a different defense. I don't know. Is zone the only defense that Todd knows? We know he knows a little man-to-man. Man, I don't know. It's a bad look, man. It's a bad look. It's a bad sound. Yeah, James, you can't blame refs this time. Falcons had 19 penalties. Can't blame the refs this time. John Hill, very, very good point. The long snapper does not suck. Also, I meant to bring up in my goods, along with Mike Evans, Chase McLaughlin. McLaughlin. Chase the kicker. I never know how to say his name. I have friends with that same exact last name. One of them pronounces it McLaughlin with an F, and the other one pronounces it McLaughlin. They're spelled exactly the same, but they're different pronunciations. I don't know what Chase's preferred pronunciation is, so don't want to do him a disservice because he was one of the goods. And look, even Kirk Herbstreit, Oscar Pena 486, Kirk Herbstreit kept saying zone defense for the Bucs is not working. Coaches need to adjust. Kirk, have you ever watched Buccaneers football before last night in the past 4 years? That's all they run. And it never works. That's like witnessing a car accident and then telling the driver of one of the cars, hey, you know what? You shouldn't have hit that car and you wouldn't have been in a wreck. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Kirk, maybe you should talk to Todd Bowles. I like Kirk Herbstreit way better as a college analyst. I just can't get used to his voice on an NFL stage. It's just still weird to me. By the way, did you guys hear Al Michaels, as he was trying to prop up the uniforms last night, the throwbacks, and apparently he could not find the word creamsicle anywhere in his filing cabinet in his 90-year-old brain. And by the way, I love Al Michaels. I will never speak ill of Al Michaels. I love Al Michaels. He's one of the voices of my youth. But he couldn't think of creamsicle. So what came out, and I can't believe Kirk didn't, or nobody corrected him. He just simply said popsicle cream. The popsicle cream uniforms, which technically might be correct. Again, it might not be correct. But it was just, we had an Al Michaels moment last night. And it wasn't great. All right, JP is going to be mad if I don't keep up with these commercials here for you guys. This is the JP Peterson Show. It is the IndyCarTim takeover of the JP Peterson Show on a misery Friday as the Bucs fall 29-28 in inexplicably dramatic fashion, blowing a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter to the Atlanta Falcons and the Hall of Fame Kirk Cousins. Man, it's a rough one. We'll come back, and I'll probably let you guys jump into what Peter and JP had to say last night on the Sports Web as they were live from Ray J on the field after the game. On a bad field, by the way. You might get into a little bit of that. I'm IndyCarTim. This is JP Peterson Show. Back after this.
You know, holidays are the best time to get engaged because all the family's already together. And at the Golden Diamond Source, they have thousands of diamonds to choose from in their jewelry wonderland. Looking for a gift that says forever? Find stunning engagement rings, diamond earrings, diamond bracelets, the most stylish gold fashion jewelry. And there's plenty for men in their new men's section and watch department. There's something for everyone on your list. And don't settle for anything less than perfection. At the Golden Diamond Source, they make it easy to give a gift they'll never forget. They wrap it up nice for you. You don't have to do any of that, guys. And they have a great staff there. You may not know what to get your lovely wife or girlfriend, but they do. Let them do the work. Hey, finance your purchase for 0% interest for up to 5 years. You could get a $5,000 diamond for only $84 a month. Don't go to the mall. Go to a local company and keep it local this Christmas at the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
Some love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group. Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. JP here for Third Generation AC and Plumbing. And Third Generation really says it all, folks. The owner, my friend John Rodriguez, has been in the AC and plumbing business since 1995. They built their business on honest assessments and doing great work on time for a great price. Simple, right? Did you know many AC techs are incentivized on big commissions to sell new AC units and you might just need a drain cleared? So if you want someone you can trust, that's John Rodriguez and Third Generation Services. Check out the 5-star Google reviews. If you have a plumbing or AC emergency, call 813-961-8024 and a human will answer the phone. That's 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show right here on FanStream Sports. I'm IndyCarTim. JP, probably drunk right now at the airport. I'm not going to lie. He's probably drowning his sorrows after what he witnessed last night. Need to remind everybody. Maybe. What do I need to remind everybody? I need to remind everybody that holidays are the best time to get engaged because all of the family's already together. At Golden Diamond Source, they have thousands of diamonds to choose from in their jewelry wonderland. Looking for a gift that says forever? Find stunning engagement rings, diamond earrings, diamond bracelets, the most stylish gold fashion, and plenty for men in their new men's watch department. There's something for everyone on your list. Don't settle for anything less than perfection. At the Golden Diamond Source, they make it easy to give a gift that they'll never forget. Their experts have the perfect luxurious gift for everyone without dealing with the mall madness. Golden Diamond Source has been America's trusted jeweler for over 40 years. Finance your purchase with 0% interest for up to 5 years. That means you could even get a $5,000 diamond for $84 a month. Is she worth $84 a month for you guys? Is she? You better say yes. That's how this thing works. Visit the Golden Diamond Source today and make sure it's a Gold and Diamond Source diamond. Thank you, Golden Diamond Source. So before we get into JP and Peter on the post game, kind of touched on the field. I don't know what's going on Now, I know the weather hadn't been great recently, but man, that field seemed like it was a mess last night. A lot of guys slipping around, and especially for the Bucs players who you think are used to playing on that field. You have potentially more options than the defensive players who are playing on the road to go change spikes. Especially at halftime, you can make some adjustments with your spikes and your shoes and your footing. But it didn't look like they did. So I'm not sure what was going on with the surface there. It looked bad on TV. I'll tell you that. It did not look good on TV. As good as the throwback popsicle cream uniforms looked, in the stadium draped in orange, and that huge logo in the middle of the field, that just looks so great, by the way, guys. Look, I know, especially after tonight, this whole curse narrative is going to perpetuate even more. I still think that's so great looking. I love the stupid orange. I love the creamsicles. I like the white creamsicles, too, that they broke out earlier in the year for the first time. I like both of them. I don't have anything against pewter and red. But, man, that color, there's something about that color. And some of you guys are like, God, no, stop it. There's just something about it, man. I'm not going to lie. Joel Forsland says, extra bonus to last night, Falcons likely to keep Cousins and Raheem one more season. I disagree. I think Raheem's done. And I think Cousins is gone. Especially after his performance last night. It's a lot of guaranteed money. And I think they're going to do whatever they can to forward the Michael Penis Jr. career there in Atlanta. There was a comment that I saw that I wanted to get to before we jump into JP and Peter. Formerly known as Jeff B. Pitt sucks until he plays us. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing out of Atlanta. I had such high hopes for him. Kyle Pitts from Joel Forsland. Kyle Pitts has 6 TDs in 7 games versus Todd, 8 TDs in 68 other games. Well, there you go. So maybe Kirk Cousins and Kyle Pitts just need to play the Bucs every week. Yeah, there's just a lot of good takes from you guys. Appreciate everybody tuning in without JP. Appreciate everybody commenting, being part of the show. Jeff B, formerly known as Jeff B, docuseries is amazing. Yeah, I can't wait to watch it this weekend. I'm going to be dialed in during my coverage of other stuff all weekend. Wish I could find that comment I was looking for. I had a snarky comment for it. I saw it during the commercial, but now I don't know where it was or who it was. Nathan Elliott, Tim, it's an effed up lost Friday. Okay. It's still a miserable Friday, a misery Friday, but yeah, I like effed up lost Friday as well. Andre all day, enough is enough. Todd, shitty bowls, gotta go, Maine. Yeah, I agree. Joseph Collins, Tim, you're doing an awesome job. Well, thank you, Joseph. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, and I'm getting called out for the Cody Mock. Yes, I know Cody Mock. I saw Cody Mock's name in the comments, and for whatever reason, my brain went Cody Mock instead of Luke Gedicke. I apologize. But yes, light me up. I made the mistake. I know. Cody's not played since his injury. I know. Scott Valdez. Tim, Mock is on IR, you idiot. I know, man. I'm sorry. I just misspoke. Again, don't forget, it's only 10:13 my time. I start the show at 9 a.m. here at the studio in Dallas, in North Dallas. And by the time 9 a.m. rolls around, I've had about 2 of these of coffee, 2 of my tumblers of coffee, and probably 4 Jaeger shots from our little bar up front. So, yeah, sorry. I know Cody Mock is on IR. He will not be back this year. Thank you, Nathan. I know. Sports Gimp, newsflash, Cody has been out all year. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. Cody Mock's been a solid player, and him being on IR has been a big issue since, or on the O-line. Yes, I know. Yes, Nathan, you're 100% correct. They're missing Cody Mock. James says, you're right, Tim Barton, not good. He's a guard or tackle. Move him maybe in the meantime. Next year, Bredesen can go there. I would love to see Ben Bredesen at center instead of Graham Barton. I think Bredesen is an infinitely better center, and I don't know why they haven't done that yet. Guess what? When Barton wasn't at center, early Bucs offense was better. You are absolutely right. I agree with that. That is a move. He's just not picking up the NFL game at center. And you know what? I know he played a little bit of center in college, but there's a reason they moved him. Just because a guy touched on center in college doesn't mean you need to play him at center in the NFL, where the game is faster and the guys are bigger. If you struggled in college, you're probably going to struggle in the pros at that same position, especially when you looked so good where they moved you. So, yeah, I don't like that he is. It was a nice experiment when you brought him in. I get it. You drafted him for that purpose. I get it. But if it didn't work, it didn't work. It's time to go to plan B. Joe Knopp, 3393, time for change. Bucs Skull Gang in-house. Are we going to fire Bowles or Light? Well, you're not going to fire Jason Light. I believe Bowles is gone, though, after this year. Which one is safe? It's Jason Light is safe. Jason Light's not getting fired. Todd Bowles, on the other hand, yes, I believe he's gone. Look, and guys, we know what the schedule has, and we know what team you're fighting with right now for the division, right? It's going to be Dave Canales in Carolina. Andre all day says Dave Canales is going to have a field day on the Bucs defense. You still have 2 games left against the Fighting Dave Canaleses and those Carolina Panthers. And there's your opportunity, man. Nothing that you've done this year matters. No matter how bad you've been, it doesn't matter. Beat Carolina twice and you're in. You win the division. As miserable as this year has been, and I will even throw out another hot sports take for you before we get to JP and Peter. If Todd Bowles, if the Buccaneers win the division and make the playoffs, anything short of a Super Bowl victory, I still think Todd Bowles is gone. They've now rode this train with unimpressive division wins, right? Division wins nonetheless, but in very unimpressive fashion. They've now done this a couple years in a row with Bowles thinking, okay, well, maybe there's some momentum. Maybe he's getting better. He's not getting better. And the Bucs know that. The front office knows that. They can see it. They've seen what a disaster this year has been from a coaching standpoint. I'm not even talking about injuries. I'm talking about from a coaching standpoint, what a disaster this thing has been. I don't know if there's a way, anything that he can do to save his job. I don't think it matters what happens in the postseason. I don't think it matters if you make the postseason. I think Bowles is gone. They have to move on. Bilal Bell, they have to damn win the Super Bowl to keep him. Even then, like, that'd be great. But even then, I think Bowles gets talked into retirement. Or they say, Bowles, we're not keeping you next year. Thanks for the Super Bowl. If you want to back out of this thing with a little more dignity, go ahead and announce your retirement. Dude, he's 61. He's the tail end of his career anyway. And what a way to go out for Todd Bowles, right, with a Super Bowl win. So, yeah, that's probably the scenario you're looking at. Even an NFC Championship game appearance and loss might be a scenario where Bowles just rides off into the sunset with what would be his second and third career postseason wins, as he's 1-3 right now as a head coach. And that might be the best scenario for everybody. You know, that might look Good for everybody. Christopher Cole, who would be a replacement? So I've got a list, Christopher Cole, of the coaches who will be available in 2026. I don't want to get to that today. I'll get to that on Tuesday with JP because I want to get to Peter and JP last night on the Sports Web post-game edition. Let you guys hear straight from the two horses' mouths what their immediate post-game reaction thoughts were. As we will get this for you. Now, this is a little sketchy because I'm doing it differently.
Welcome back
There
to
we go.
another edition
Y'all
of the
enjoy.
Evolution
I'll be
of
back
Sports
shortly.
Talk Television here live from Raymond James Stadium in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with JP Peterson. A disappointing loss. There's no defending it. I have been the defender of Todd Bowles at this point. Who knows at this juncture? Your defense has to get off the field. They have to make a stop. We talk about it time and time again here on the Sports Web. 3rd and 28, you're not able to come up with the stop. 4th and 14, not able to come up with the stop. 4 players around a fumble, not able to recover it.
7.
I don't know what to say anymore at this juncture. You spoil a great performance by Mike Evans coming back. The offense, and we're not going to take any phone calls right now, so just hold off on it. We set the table. You come to eat, okay? I know what you're going to say. We already know what you want to say at this point, so we're going to give you the opportunity to say it. But JP, you were in the press conference. You interviewed Todd Bowles. You interviewed Baker Mayfield. What was it like there?
I can tell you, first and foremost, Todd Bowles has never.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, it's not working.
Todd Bowles dropped about 8 F-bombs. We never heard that. A couple S-bombs as well. He says you have to F and care. You have to care enough to know how to do your job. It has to F and hurt. And, you know, if your coach is saying that at this point of the season, you got a culture problem. And that's the one thing that this team, I didn't think they had. And it's not, they get along great. Everybody's rowing in the right direction. It's all that stuff, but they just do not play with the requisite intensity and fire that you need to play to win games in the National Football League. There is a lack of leadership on this team. There's no question about that. That's why they brought in JPP. Supposedly, you know, there were so many ways they could have won this game tonight. It's not just on the defense. You know, the offense had a couple of chances to close this game out. They couldn't do it. Baker Mayfield said, this is all on me. I can't throw that interception late. I got to take the check down. He's correct. I talked to Graham Barton. He said it's on us, the offensive line. It was. They for 6-7 weeks now, they have not been able to pass off stunts and twists and blitzes. And then he said it happened again tonight. They just can't fix it. They can't fix it. They're down 2 guards, and these guys that they have just can't get it done. And Graham put it on himself. Baker put it on himself. Bowles put it on him. Well, he basically said the guys just don't care enough. And that's it. But that's on you. That's on you as a coaching staff. You got to get these guys ready to play. And for me, and I kind of grilled him on this, you know, first of all, you go up 2 scores. And I literally tweeted it out and said it in the press box. Watch, guys, here we go. Rush 4, cover 2. They're going to go right down the field. 9 plays, less than 4 minutes, right down the field. And Raheem Morris goes for 2. What an idiot. Would have cost them the game. But, yeah. And then they get the ball with a chance to go down and win it with a field goal. The Falcons do. So what do we do then? Well, we blitz twice. We get a sack fumble. Somehow we get on that football. You got to want it enough to get on that football. What are you doing? Hassan Reddick gets the sack fumble on a great blitz. They blitz again. They force an incompletion. It's 3rd and 28. They get a holding call, and you could have gone 3rd and 18 there and see. But it doesn't even matter because you know what they're going to do? They're going to rush 4, and he's going to sit in the pocket, and he's going to find somebody for 14 yards for Kyle Pitts on 3rd and 28. You just give up 14 yards. You don't blitz. You just give him 14 yards. Now it's 4th and 14, much more manageable. And what do? You don't blitz again. And he just sits back there and waits for somebody to uncover. And I asked Bowles about it, and he's like, oh, well, if you blitz again, they're just going to throw it out to Bijan. He's going to take it for a touchdown. You don't have somebody that can cover that? I mean, it's maddening that every time they get up 2 scores, he takes the foot off the gas and he doesn't stay aggressive. In the last series, he doesn't stay aggressive. How many times do you need to see this when you rush 4 that guys uncover and they make the throw?
I don't care if Bijan Robinson's going to take it on a screen pass. I get that from a defensive play caller. You don't want to give him an easy one, but they're going to do it anyway. How many times do you need to see this, Todd Bowles? Every time you rush forward, he just sits in the pocket, and it's Kirk freaking Cousins. He's not going anywhere. And every time you blitz tonight, something good happened, and you stop blitzing. It's just he's so scared to have Bijan catch it in the flat and go to the house. I can kind of understand that, but you're scarred so many times by playing it safe. At some point, why don't you just let it rip and just, especially with Kirk freaking Cousins, get after. It seemed like every single time they blitzed, something good happened, and every time they didn't, something bad happened. I'm not a genius play caller like Todd Bowles, but I can figure that out. Keep effing blitzing. Yeah, it's makes me crazy.
You're absolutely right about it. It works now. It's
okay.
working now, but you're absolutely right about that. At the end of the day, you get a blitz from Antoine Winfield Jr. on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
You rush forward with Hassan Reddick there. He's able to get in there. Looks like he causes a fumble, but
that was a blitz. That was a blitz on that one. Yeah.
So every time you blitz, and I get a lot of people say, well, every time you blitz on this thing, you leave somebody open. I'm willing to be aggressive at that point instead of play that zone.
Well, I saw at least 3 times they blitzed, and Kirk, it affected the throw. He couldn't complete it. He had an open receiver. He did. Right. But the pressure was such that he couldn't complete the throw. He couldn't step into the throw. That's what pressure does. You don't always get the sack, but you force incompletions because the quarterback is just not sitting there on his back foot, stepping into the throw where to me, you can't cover that long in the NFL. You just and guys like Kirk Cousins are accurate enough and still have a good enough arm that you can sit in the pocket, and if nobody's going to come after you, you can put your foot in the ground and find a small spot and get it in there. And he does it time and time again. Offensively, they had some really good moments tonight. Mike Evans was fantastic, and what a difference makes Jalen McMillan, and having a full complement of receivers, this team can be really, really good on offense. The problem is the protection. The protection was awful tonight again. And in key moments, Baker was running for his life. They ran the football at times, but this offensive line is getting overwhelmed every single week. And it happened again this week. And, I get news for you. Derek Brown and Carolina Panthers are coming, and they're a much better defensive line than they faced. So this team's in a lot of hurt. If they sweep the Panthers, they can get into the playoffs. But at this point, can they even win a game? You've lost to the 2-10 Saints and the 4-9 Falcons coming in with those teams with nothing to play for. You have everything to play for. You're at home, and you can't get wins, and you're giving it up. Defensively, offensively, they had chances to close this game out. Baker throws a pick, and then they can't get first downs when they need it. It's just brutal. It's brutal right now, and listen, everybody is going to talk about firing Todd Bowles, and it's absolutely appropriate. It's absolutely appropriate. As much as I love that man, and as a human being, he's top shelf. Right. But as a football coach, he just does not inspire greatness in his team. He does not inspire intensity. He does not inspire, like he said, guys have to effing care, and they don't. I mean, it's just as plain as that. Maybe this flips the switch. I doubt it. I mean, you brought in a almost 37-year-old JPP this week, to fire people up. I mean, it's desperation time, and the guys just aren't. And I mean, the ball's sitting right there at the 10-yard line, bro. You strip Levante David strips Mooney, and it's sitting there, and 3 freaking Buccaneers jump on it. Must be the creamsicle, bro. The creamsicle on your hands, I guess it gets creamy. Yeah. You can't get the ball. Right. You had a fumble down here that Hassan Reddick finally gets a sack fumble to win a game. Jump on the ball. Jesus effing Christ. I agree. So many opportunities. Bijan Robinson's making guys look silly because you can't tackle them in the flat. I don't know what the hell's going on with this field, but it was once the best in the league, and Baker's slipping all over the place. Graham Barton told me he was slipping all over the place. That's not an excuse. They're not using it as an excuse. It's I don't know what the hell's going on. Both teams got to play on it. So whatever.
Jacob Parrish tonight, because we have mic problems, I guess. So Jacob Parrish, he slipped down a couple times tonight. You're exactly right about this. And at the end of the day, you've got to make the open field tackles, and we saw that tonight. The Bucs got some breaks because it could have been a lot more points put on the board with the wide receiver dropping the ball there. But again, it comes down to 3rd and 28. What are you doing if you're a defense? If your staple of your defense is to get after the quarterback, and we saw Kirk Cousins do this time and time again, and maybe it is a different voice. I don't know at this point. If you play like this, and a lot of people think this could be like John Gruden all over again, where you start out 9-3, and of course this Bucs team was 6-2 at the time, and now they're 7-7 and they're struggling. You saw Mike Evans, how frustrated he was. You were in the locker room. What's the frustration level like, or what was it like at the press conference?
I can tell you this: we're sitting in the press conference room, which is adjacent to the locker room, and there was a lot of yelling and banging going on. After the game, the guys were really, really pissed off for whatever that means. I mean, don't get pissed off in there, get pissed off out there and make something happen. And look, guys are trying. It's just, man, when it starts going south, this team has now lost 5 of 6 games after starting 5-1. They're now 7-7, but still have a miracle because it's the NFC South. You have a chance to still win it. And, can they regroup and go beat a Carolina team? Am I betting on that? Hell no. I don't know if Miami's playing good football now. This team may lose out. And listen, I'm here to tell you, and I thought this from the very beginning of this season, if this team doesn't go to the playoffs and win at least one game, Todd Bowles, I thought, would be fired. What we're witnessing right here is, the baton death march. He is dead man walking at this point, in my opinion. There's no way the Glazers can watch this at home. Creamsicle game Thursday night. It's an embarrassment. Last week was an embarrassment. If they lose to the freaking Saints in the rain, and your fans are paying thousands and thousands of dollars for these tickets, and I do mean thousands of dollars, have to walk out. I walked out last week with the fans going through the spiral, right? And all these Saints fans are just chirping at the Bucs fans. I'm like, damn, if I paid a few $1,000s for tickets tonight and I get to sit in the freaking rain and watch that slop, and then they come out on a Thursday night 4 days later and do this. Yeah, I mean, if you're the Glazers, you are irate at this point. And this is your 50th anniversary season. You start 5-1 and everybody's, feeling good. We all want to go home tonight and watch Raise the Flags and celebrate the great history of this football team. You know what? We can't do that now because we're going to go home and stew in this bullshit.
Wow.
It's just, it's disheartening. It's maddening as a fan. And that's the thing. It's just like there's Todd Bowles malaise now. And it's not just about Todd. It's about these players. These players aren't making plays. Last week they had multiple opportunities to make plays and win the game. They're not doing it. Same thing tonight. Guys had a chance to make plays. He's putting guys in a position to make plays. They're not making them. But that being said, it all falls on the head coach. You're the one that's going to take all the responsibility. And, these guys get paid well. And I know he got a contract extension last year. That means nothing. They have fired John Gruden right after he got a contract extension. So there's no way, especially if they don't make the playoffs, and I don't think they will, frankly, you can come back and sell suites and everything else with Todd Bowles coming back. That's not going to work in a dollars and cents world. They need a new voice. They need a new vision. They need some inspiration. I think who do they go to? It's probably going to be someone with a young offensive mind that's going to bring some fire to this franchise. It's desperately needed. And again, this is not all on Todd Bowles. This is a team-wide loss. The offense had their chances. They couldn't do it against the freaking Falcons. The defense had their chance to shut down Kirk freaking Cousins, 75-year-old Kirk Cousins who can't freaking move. And you just let him sit back and pick you apart. 365 yards passing in this game. They had 476 total yards. Their yards per play were 7.2.
373 yards.
27 first downs. I mean, that is ridiculous on so many levels. They had 19 penalties. 19 penalties. I mean, they could have that probably nullified another 120 yards of offense. Yeah. Offense, 19 penalties. I would proffer to say, Professor Peterson would proffer to say, no team has ever had 19 penalties and won a game in the NFL. Right. I don't know. I got to call the Elias Sports Bureau, but no.
Well, actually, there was one. It was the 2016 Raiders against the Bucs. I remember that game. It was an overtime, missed kicks, and they had 26 or 23 penalties was the record, and they did beat the Bucs in overtime. It was the Raiders. So there you go, right there. As
Only
I remember,
the Bucs can do that. They can lose to a team that has 23 penalties or 19 penalties.
Exactly. All right, so open phone lines here. JP, I know you got to go to Orlando. I don't want to keep you all night long.
You have the icon here anyway.
I do, and I got to fix this mic or something. So we have 2 mics there, but go ahead.
JP Peterson Show daily, 10 to 12. We have TJ on. Pete, everybody comes on. We talk Bucs. We do all the Tampa Bay stuff. Join us tomorrow if you can.
All right. JP Peterson of the JP Peterson Show.
Brother. Good job.
Yes, thank you. Love you too, brother. All right, let's go ahead and bring on the media icon really quick here. We're going to work with this one.
All right, boys and girls, that was JP and Peter last night. Their immediate thoughts, their immediate reaction. And I guess they had much of the same. That's just like the rest of us. I touched on pretty much, I think, most of what they talked about. It's just confusing. Everyone, I'm getting even from you guys, from the fans, I'm getting a hint of confusion from everyone. And by the way, Rick, that was not my CPAP machine. I don't know what you were hearing. I had my microphone off, so I don't know what was coming. I did the little Darth Vader noise. I did that. But I don't know what everybody was hearing, but it wasn't me. It might have been Kirk Cousins breaking in here. But everybody just seems a little confused by what's happening right now. Like, how did we get here? That might need to be the question that we're all asking. How did we get here? You guys all go ask yourself that. Again, JP's going to yell at me if I don't do these breaks. So appreciate everybody tuning in. It is, let's see, what was it, Nathan? An effed up loss Friday, whatever it was. It's a misery Friday here on the JP Peterson Show on FanStream Sports. I'm IndyCarTim. This is FanStream Sports. It is the JP Peterson Show with an IndyCarTim takeover. Coming up after the break, more of your comments. And how did we get here? How the F did we get here? More after this.
Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. At Genesis of Tampa, they got some serious ho-ho-ho going on this Christmas. It's the Miracle Holiday Sales Event and their 30 days of giving. First, for any new vehicle in the month of December sold, first payment will be deferred 90 days, and then the dealership will make the first payment up to $500. That can save you a lot of cash that you can use for Christmas shopping. And every day in December, they're giving away a $500 shopping spree. All you got to do is have your car appraised, and you get an entry into the daily drawing for the $500 shopping spree. And every weekend day in December, customers simply need to stop by the dealership, scan the QR code, and they get an entry into the $500 shopping spree contest. No purchase necessary. Test drive a vehicle, and we will 10x your entry into the shopping spree. Christmas and New Year's Eve, each holiday, if a customer books a test drive for the specified day, they will receive a themed t-shirt, limited edition, as well as an additional $250 off the purchase price. Bottom line is, get your butt and your sleigh down to Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Avenue, just off 275. It's going to be a big Christmas at Genesis of Tampa. Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. You know, holidays are the best time to get engaged because all the family's already together. And at the Golden Diamond Source, they have thousands of diamonds to choose from in their jewelry wonderland. Looking for a gift that says forever? Find stunning engagement rings, diamond earrings, diamond bracelets, the most stylish gold fashion jewelry. And there's plenty for men in their new men's section and watch department. There's something for everyone on your list. And don't settle for anything less than perfection. At the Golden Diamond Source, they make it easy to give a gift they'll never forget. They wrap it up nice for you. You don't have to do any of that, guys. And they have a great staff there. You may not know what to get your lovely wife or girlfriend, but they do. Let them do the work. Hey, finance your purchase for 0% interest for up to 5 years. You could get a $5,000 diamond for only $84 a month. Don't go to the mall. Go to a local company and keep it local this Christmas at the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
Some love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
Hey, think about the greatest tandems in sports. Montana to Rice, Brady to Gronk, Baker to Mike Evans. Well, here's a new one. Third generation plumbing and American Standard heating and cooling units. Our split systems offer the highest efficiency available while reducing energy bills and maximizing comfort. Third generation plumbing can handle anything mechanical around the house, plumbing, AC, whatever, and they install the best American Standard heating and cooling units. Built to last, made to perform. Whether it's a new install or an emergency repair, our family-owned team brings 3 generations of trusted service to your home, now with the unmatched reliability of American Standard heating and cooling. So don't wait for the summer heat to return. We've got you covered. Call Third Generation Plumbing and American Standard Heating and Cooling, 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024, or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show right here on FanStream Sports. It's just an effed up Friday. We're just going to go with that. I see everybody with what you're telling me. But it is an effed up Friday. It is an F off Friday. It is I don't know. It's a very disappointing Friday. But you know what's not disappointing, boys and girls, Petermans? Genesis of Tampa and their Miracle Holiday Sales event, their 30 days of giving for any new vehicle this month in December. They will defer the first payment for 90 days, and then the dealership itself will make that first payment up to $500. And every day in December, they're giving away a $500 shopping spree. All you have to do is have your car appraised at Genesis of Tampa, and you get an early drawing, an early entry into the daily drawing for the $500 shopping spree. Every weekend day in December, customers just need to stop by the dealership, scan the QR code to enter for that $500 shopping spree. No purchase necessary. Test drive a vehicle, and they will 10x that entry. Now, from what I understand in math class at Texas A&M, 10x means 10 times. So instead of one entry, you go scan that QR code. Instead of one entry, test drive one of their fascinating vehicles. Love me some Genesises. And they will make it 10 times the entries. Multiply that by 10 for your entry into that $500 shopping spree. Christmas, New Year's Eve, for each holiday, if customers book a test drive for the specified day on New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve, for example, you will receive a themed t-shirt as well as an additional $250 off if you purchase a vehicle, all at Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Road or East Bears Avenue, just off 275. Thank you, Genesis of Tampa. Man, I could use a Genesis right now. I wonder if Genesis of Tampa will deliver to Dallas. Or if I'd have to pay for shipping. I wonder how that would work. And I wonder what kind of discount JP could get me at Genesis of Tampa. By the way, if you guys haven't noticed, I changed my flag. All right. I was too depressed. I couldn't do it anymore. Looking at the creamsicle and looking at the red together, the flag has been relocated. It is now on the studio wall over here. It's right there. As we tour the studio, there you go. There, and there's my Dallas Cow. Look, there you go. There's your Cowboys. By the way, that's a vintage Cowboys Super Bowl hat from 1993. Yes, it is vintage. I did buy it back then. As we're showing off your studio. So anyway, yeah. So there you go. I had to get rid of the Bucs flag behind me. I just couldn't do it anymore. So it's been replaced with my drinking flag. I thought if I put a Cowboys flag up there, you guys probably get pissed off at me. So about my drinking flag, that's something we can all agree on, right? We all want to go drinking. So I got my drinking flag up. And yes, I have a drinking flag. You want to know what that drinking flag is for? I'll tell you what that drinking flag is for. I use that in two places. I use that drinking flag here at the studio when I am here sports watching and not broadcasting. I hang that flag outside on our door, the outside of our door into the studio here, so that everyone in the building knows, hey, Tim's here watching sports and he's got drinks. And that's an invitation for everybody to come have a drink with me that's in the building. Happens quite a bit on the weekends when they're here working. I also have that same exact flag at my home in the thriving metropolis of Frisco, Texas. And when I put that flag out outside my garage, I've got a flagpole extending from the wall outside my front door. When I hang that flag, that is an invitation to the neighborhood to come driveway drink with me. On the rare occasion I have time to do that these days. But yeah, that flag is an invitation for one and all to come drink with me. So I'm hanging the flag behind me for all of you in the greater Tampa Bay metropolitan area to drink with me today. Maybe pour one out for the Bucs. Oh, they'll probably still go to the playoffs. We're going to have fun talking about this on Tuesday when I'm here. I'm sure Nick and JP will have fun with you guys on Monday. Be JP's first chance really to talk about it. But I know I will have all of the fun recapping all of this with JP and you guys on Tuesday when I come back into the fold here. But yeah, formerly known as Jeff P. We drinking and smoking today, damn it. You know what, Jeff B, you do what makes you feel better. I'm not a smoker, but I'm sure as hell a drinker. So let's do all of it. Aviation, yes, the popsicle cream uniforms. Thank you, Al Michaels. That will never go away. We are using that. I might use that every time I'm describing these uniforms now. Steve says, at Andrea all day. Andre, look, I'm Ron Burgundy. You put it in front of me, and I'm going to read it like it looks. Andre all day. They're losing in pewter, too. The uniforms aren't the problem. That's kind of true. I don't disagree with that. Because Andre all day said creamsicles are for losers. Oops. But they're those are probably my favorite NFL uniforms aside from the Dallas Cowboys blue shirt uniforms. I still think, everybody says even if you're a Cowboys hater, some of those guys think that at least the Cowboys uniforms look good. I'm not a fan of the white jerseys with their kind of green silver pants. I don't like that. I like the blue tops with the silver pants. To me, that's iconic. And you know what? The old Houston Oilers blue, was that Columbia blue? That was iconic too. And so were the popsicle creams. Makes me want cream. And Steve, even Al Michaels was like, all there is orange around the ball. Bowles can't be bothered. I don't know how they can get either one of those fumbles, but it is what it is. We'll talk about it way more next week, boys and girls. I want to thank each and every one of you Petermans for hanging out with me for the last 2 hours or so. We're going to wrap things up here as I've got another show to get ready for at what is noon Eastern, 11 Central. Get right back on this horse. I got to squeeze in probably 2 Miller Lights and another couple of Jaeger shots in between now and then. So we're going to wrap it up a little bit early, let you guys get to your lunches early. Go have some lunch for me. JP Peterson peeps. Yeah, Nathan's not going to embrace the Petermans thing. And I'm kind of with you, Nathan. I don't say this in front of JP. Never been a fan of the Petermans term. Like, I get it. He gets it. It means something. I don't really get it. So I'm kind of with you, Nathan. Don't tell anybody else, Nathan. That's between me and you. I'll go with the JP Peterman peeps. Or just boys and girls. Don Pudge says we can put the creamsicles away for about a decade. Yeah. Thank you to you too as well, formerly known as Jeff B. So yeah, we'll talk about it again on Monday. You guys have a great weekend. Go get you some drinks or some smoke, whatever's legal in your area that you think will help make you feel better, because we all need to stick together at this time of need. We need to support one another, not bring each other down. Think the good thought for those Buccaneers players and coaches as they wrap up their careers in Tampa Bay, quite possibly, and move on to find something somewhere else. You ain't got to go home. You just can't stay here. Till Monday, boys and girls. We'll see ya.